the video review for Dark of the Moon Nitro Bumblebee. As you can see, he's Bumblebee, and it looks like he's got some of the teched out details from Leader Bumblebee's backpack, the jet engines, and the tech detailing all around the sides. A couple extra mech tech ports. Two on top and one on the hood here, and one on either side. Just a quick look at the underside. Now, I've given him the gun that came with mud flap, and it has been seen with mud flap in every picture. This is the one that came with Bumblebee. And I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be with him, because if you look, the paint on the shoulders matches, and it's clearly gang molded from the same dark gray plastic as opposed to this. And on mud flap, you can see his gray plastic up in there is the same as this. So I'm pretty sure that this one is supposed to go to mud flap, this one is supposed to go to Bumblebee. But I do think this one fits better. A lot of people have been complaining. I don't think they're right, but I do agree that this one fits better with mud flap, this one fits better with Bumblebee. But also this one, the mech tech weapon, when you flip it up, turns into something resembling Bumblebee's axe. So the yellow matches, and it resembles Bumblebee's weapon. So there's that too. And I'll show them off in robot mode with both weapons as well. But yeah, teched out Bumblebee. These are more, look a lot like the solar panels there on Leader Prime. If you saw the comparison picture in the opening credits there, he is in vehicle mode, a little smaller than even the previous Dark of the Moon Bumblebee, who was a little smaller than Revenge of the Fallen Bumblebee. But there's some neat stuff here. It's not quite as posable. We'll get into that. So you want to pop the wheels out and the doors. The wheels are actually attached to the doors this time. So you want to fold them back and pop the doors out to the side a little bit. You come under here and lift the arms up, or rotate these all the way up like this. And that'll let you get the arms up. And then you bring the whole chest piece down. And then these pieces right here just kind of pop forward and angle in. It's not just the front panels, it's the whole shoulder piece. Angles in like that. You unhook the backpack here. And there's a certain point right here where you can actually get this to fold. You have to lift this up. Get this back piece all the way up like this. There you go. You get just enough clearance to fold that down. And then this piece folds all the way up like that, which gets the doors in the right spot. They kind of angle in and slide in behind the arms. So you still get the same effect of the wheels and the doors behind his arms. They're just together this time. And then the legs are actually fairly interesting in that you take the foot and flip it out over the wheel. And then once you extend the leg, you actually extend the leg like this, and then flip the heel all the way down and around. And then his toe is posable independently. You just kind of rotate these wherever you want. And that puts the wheel on the inside of his heel. I know some people prefer that, so it's a little different leg transformation, and it's kind of cool. Again, you just flip helps if you flip this piece up first off of this piece. Flip the toe onto the wheel, and then flip this piece down and around like that. And just kind of flip this piece over so it comes up here onto his hip. And there is a Nitro Bumblebee in robot mode. And he ends up on his back, he ends up with like the jet engines up here. The engines themselves end up on his lower legs. So he's kind of ready for a space fight as well. Much like Optimus Prime, all mech teched up. And then again, he can't quite hold. It's kind of a shame. His hands are molded in place, and neither one of them is quite small enough to actually hold a mech tech weapon in it. And there's no either one. But he does gain. You can still access the two mech tech ports on his shins. If you want to fold this down, you can access the two on his back. And then he does get two more on his forearms here, so he can still use a gun. And again, I'll show him off with both of the disputed weapons, even though I think Well, I agree that they look better with the other ones. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be his weapon, and this is supposed to be Mudflaps. But, and this weapon does just exactly like Skid's does. It's a completely different weapon. Well, how about that? Wow. Okay, well, there we go. You've got your entertainment for the evening. It does flip out a lot like Skid's, but there's not a single part. See, like that? But not a single part is the same as Skid's. It's not just a minor remold. This is a completely different gun. Just happens to do the same thing as Skid's. So, things I like about it. I like the look of it. I like the bulked up look. I like the teched up. I like the jetpack look on the back. But all in all, he's just not as posable as the previous Dark of the Moon Bumblebee. He's just not. His arms are back in that hole. We can only move like this, which is kind of a shame. He's just his basic body is just a little simpler, and this is a real quick comparison. Here he is with the Dark of the Moon Bumblebee, and he is just a wee bit shorter, as you can see. But he just doesn't have quite the great look that he does, because this one has the swivel and the ability to do like a handshake pose, whereas he does not. You can't bend his arm forward like this at the elbow. You have to rotate it up like this, which is just a bit of a shame, because I much prefer this type of arm mobility. So yeah, there's just a quick comparison there. I think these panels, I think the idea behind them is neat, but they're just a little too large. I wish maybe they'd cut them off right here and maybe let these pieces attach someplace else. They just seem a little crowding of his head, and maybe he'll look like that in the movie. I don't know. But that's something I'm not a real big fan of. I do like the overall look. I like the general design, but I just feel that there could have been a little bit more attention to posability in the design. And I just don't know why. I mean, we couldn't get. I like the foot transformation. I do like the new foot transformation. I think that's kind of cool. But I just don't know why we got, again, these curling arms. You know, curling iron arms or whatever people are calling them. I just feel like they could have given us better articulation. They could have at least given us the hinged hands. There's no reason for that, or at least made. I'd honestly even be happy if they made these a little bit smaller, so he could hold a mech tech weapon in his fist like the other one, because he's even got hinged hands that are designed to open just far enough that he can hold a mech tech weapon in it, and he doesn't. So there's a lot of good things going on. Like I said, there's some cool, neat design elements here, but I feel like if you're only going to get one Bumblebee from Dark of the Moon, get this one. This guy's just a whole lot cooler and a whole lot better overall. So, but there you have it, Dark of the Moon Nitro Bumblebee.